So this is what it feels like. Hey, what's going on everybody? This is Brandon Wingfield, and first of all, let me say thank you for coming to check out the video, and welcome. So this is going to be what I call my first official YouTube video, and I thought I'd show off something that I'm very proud of, the movie shelf. But there's no movies on your movie shelf except for good old Dark Knight trilogy over here. So not only did I want to give you a look as to what movies are actually on the shelf, but also give you a start from scratch look as to how I organize everything. And with that being said, let's get started. So I want to start off with the top right side of the shelf, and this one is a special one because this is the Robin Williams side of the shelf. He gets his own side, and the movies that I have include Good Morning Vietnam, 1 Hour Photo, Patch Adams, Dead Poets Society, The Birdcage. Recently watched this one and I thought it was pretty good. Hook, classic. Insomnia, Nolan. Mrs. Doubtfire, Good Will Hunting, probably my favorite. Jumanji, Wet Dreams May Come. Better movie than most people think. I'll at least give it that. At least the first act. The second and third, not so much. And last but not least, Aladdin. Have to have Aladdin. Next up would be the left side of the shelf, and for this one, this is the start of where my series would go. And we're going to start with Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, Chamber of Secrets, Prisoner of Azkaban, Goblet of Fire, Order of the Phoenix, Half-Blood Prince, Deathly Hallows Part 1, and Deathly Hallows Part 2. Part 2 I think being my favorite, that or Chamber of Secrets because of childhood, but haven't really decided on that one. Then we have the Stanley Kubrick Visionary Filmmaker Collection, and for this one, it is the region-free edition, so there is no Dr. Strangelove on this one, but it does give me the opportunity to get the Criterion edition of it. Next up, X-Men Collection. And for this one, there is no Wolverine movies on this one, just the original 1, 2, 3, Days of the Future Past, First Class, and of course Apocalypse. Next series, Hunger Games. Part 1 being my favorite, I think. Catching Fire, Mockingjay Part 1, and Mockingjay Part 2. Next series, Pirates of the Caribbean, Part 1, Part 2, Part 3, and Part 4. Love 1 and 2, I think I've maybe more drawn to 2 than I am to 1, but I have to look at them again. And Transformers Part 2, Part 3, and the one I only bought because I'm a completionist and it was only on Black Friday for $5. Going down to the next level of the shelf, The Hangover. Hangover Part 2, and Hangover Part 3. 2 probably being the favorite of that one. Next series, The Hobbit, Part 1, Part 2, and Part 3, which was a bit of a letdown when I saw it in theaters. Expected a lot more out of that. Next series, Despicable Me, Despicable Me 2, and Minions. I don't think it's as bad as people say it is. It's at least watchable. Next series, Star Trek. Into Darkness, definitely the favorite. And Star Trek Beyond, which I have not seen all of it, and I even went to theaters and saw this one. Next up, Pokemon 1, 2, and 3. Definitely had to pick these up as soon as I saw it. And next up, and I last, at least for the series, Iron Man. Iron Man 2. And Iron Man 3, which I do not particularly like. Next set of movies is going to be my Disney collection, and these I believe I have them in chronological order. Dumbo, Alice in Wonderland, Beauty and the Beast, The Nightmare Before Christmas, Tarzan, Monsters Inc., Finding Nemo, The Incredibles, just released part 2 already, Ratatouille, surprise favorite, or one of the favorites, Wall-E, Up, Toy Story 3. I have 1 and 2, but they are on DVD and I have not upgraded yet. In due time. Tron Legacy, Wreck-It Ralph. So apparently they're making a part 2 to that. Wonder how that's going to turn out. Saving Mr. Banks, Oz the Great and Powerful, Monsters University. Really like this one. Disney Nature's Bears, and Zootopia. Now the next set of movies is something I'm particularly proud of as well, and is my short films collection. So, Walt Disney Short Films Collection, Pixar Short Films Volume 1, and Pixar Short Films Volume 2. Now, if you're a Pixar fan and you've grown up with it as much as I have, these two. This one is optional. Cars, Tunes, Mater's Hall's Tales. Not bad, but... And Oscar-winning Short Films Collection. Next up is the Studio Ghibli Collection. Castle in the Sky, My Neighbor Totoro, Princess Mononoke, Kiki's Delivery Service, Spirited Away, gotta have Spirited Away, Howl's Moving Castle, Ponyo, probably the least favorite. The Wind Rises, one of the more underrated ones. And When Marnie Was There. And also goes along with the G Kids collection, not necessarily Studio Ghibli, April and the Extraordinary World. So next up is going to be my numerical and alphabetical order movies. Now for this one, there was a mismatch in the order since when I was taking everything down. So don't be too harsh on the order. 20th Century Women. Just picked this one up not too long ago. I went to a free screening for this one and I was pleasantly surprised by what I saw. And I actually put a small review up on Letterboxd, so I'm going to put that in the link in the description. 300. A Man Called Ove. Now this was one of the nominees for Best Foreign Feature this past Oscars, and I rented it the day before and I loved it. Had to pick it up. The Amazing Spider-Man. Amazing Spider-Man 2. American Hustle. Anchorman. Anna Karenina. Not too much to this movie. It's okay. And Avatar. One of my first Blu-rays at least, and also something I like to show off with people who still don't have Blu-ray yet. Bad Boys and Bad Boys 2. Do not know why they're making a 3 and 4, but okay. Big. Gotta have Tom Hanks. Gonna be plenty of that. Batman vs Superman Dawn of Justice in 4K. Now this one I picked up for $10, so I actually had to grab this one as soon as I saw that one. But as you can see, I have not opened it since yet. I'm going to get around to it eventually, just not yet. Batman Assault on Arkham. And Batman Forever. Now, I do not have Batman and Batman Returns yet, and I don't see myself owning the other one. And, of course, you've seen the Dark Knight trilogy already. So, in due time for the other ones. Black Swan. Birdman. Another one of my rentals that I just immediately just went to Target, and had to get it. Big Fish, check it out if you haven't seen it. Captain America, The Winter Soldier, and Civil War. Now, I don't own the first one mainly because everywhere I go, that movie is at least $30 and I'm not willing to pay that much. Let's see. Breakfast Club, so out of order here. The Box Trolls, and the Book of Eli. Just stick that here. For the next shelf, we have Captain Phillips, Casino Royale, Changeling, one of Angelina Jolie movies that not really too talked about. One for the Holidays, A Christmas Story. Concussion. Cosmos. Now, there's a history to this one. I've bought it, sold it, but I always keep coming back to it. And this one is the last time I'm keeping this one. I just haven't opened it yet. Crimson Peak. Interesting. Curious Case of Benjamin Button. Da Vinci Code and Angels and Demons double pack. I just watched Inferno not too long ago, and not as good as these. I might still end up getting it though. The Danish Girl. Now that one I won a free screening to on my birthday, and I kind of went into that one with the idea that it would be just as good as The Theory of Everything. Was it? No. Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. I need war in my life. The Day After Tomorrow. Deadpool. I mean, what can I say that hasn't already been said already? Deep Impact. Deepwater Horizon. Die Hard. Don't Breathe. Dope. This one had to grow on me. I wasn't that big of a fan at first, but it catches on. Dragon Ball Z Season 1. I still need to go ahead and get the rest. Edward Scissorhands. So just this gives you an idea of how I don't often open up movies. It still has that coupon code for Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children and Birth of a Nation. Yep, so I don't open movies as soon as I get them. I just wait until I'm ready to watch them. Elf. The Empire of Corpses. So this one only had like a 2-day run in one theater that I went to. And when I saw it, I thought it was pretty interesting. Part of the Project Ito trilogy. And that includes this, Harmony, and one other movie which I don't think has been released yet. Ex Machina. Fantastic Mr. Fox. Definitely have to have some Wes Anderson. And Fast Five. Next shelf. Fearless. One of my favorite martial arts movies. Field of Dreams. The Fifth Element. Haven't watched this one in a while. Not going to talk about that one for obvious reasons. The Fighter. Final Fantasy VII Advent Children. Double pack of The Green Mile and Forrest Gump. Four Brothers. Freedom Riders. Triple pack, Friday, Menace to Society, and Set It Off. Furious 7. Haven't seen Furious 8 yet. Fast and Furious 8. The Game. Ghost in the Shell. Did go see that. Pretty good. Ghost Rider. Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. We get a sequel, but not with David Fincher. Godzilla. Gone Girl. Gotham Season 1 and Gotham Season 2, which has been open. Now, say what you will about the show. I love it. Definitely been one of my favorites. Grand Budapest Hotel. Gridiron Gang. Guardians of the Galaxy. Definitely have to watch the second one. The Hateful Eight. No matter how many times I watch this movie, it does not get old. Hellboy 1 and Hellboy 2. The Help. Her, debatably my favorite movie, at least in the top 5. How the Grinch Stole Christmas, Jim Carrey. Hustle and Flow. The Imitation Game. Now, I saw this on a day where I went and saw 3 movies. This was Selma, The Imitation Game, and I want to say Unbroken at the time. Man, that was an experience. Inception. Interstellar, back-to-back Nolan. Now, for Interstellar, that's one of the best theater experiences I've had in a long time. Probably in the top 3. Jobs. John Q, another movie that is kind of underrated. Jurassic Park. Gotta have Jurassic Park. Another recent movie I checked out, Kicks. King Kong. Kingsman: The Secret Service. Krampus. Kubo and the Two Strings. So this one is probably the one I would have preferred winning Best Animated Feature this year, but I liked all except for one of the nominees, and I'll let you figure that one out later. Las Vegas. I just got this one from Sony as part of the Blu-ray program that they have. So that one was free, and I only got that one because Hunt for the Wilder People was not on Blu-ray. It was only for DVD. Law Abiding Citizen. Life of Pi. So this one was one of my favorites for the longest time. The Lord of the Rings, all 3 movies, theatrical version. I didn't really see the need to go and get the extended. Lucy, which is taking portions of this movie to make inside of Ghost in the Shell, in my opinion. Mad Max Fury Road. So for this one, I was surprised by how many people were not in the theater when I went to go see this, and this was like opening weekend. Major Pain. So I just picked this one up not too long ago, and I was kind of upset that this was only a Walmart exclusive, but regardless, had to go get it. Man of Steel and The Martian. So next up is Me and Earl and the Dying Girl. Picked this up at the blind buy at Target for $10, and man, did I fall in love with it. Memento. Had the longest time finding that one, but found it for $7 or $8. Michael Jackson's This Is It. Misery. Moonrise Kingdom, more Wes Anderson. Mud. The Neon Demon, something I watched recently. Now You See Me. Seen Now You See Me 2, don't have it yet. BBC Earth's One Life. Old School. Office Space. Pearl Jam 20. Just watched this one again. The Peanuts movie, better than I expected it to be. Paper Heart, another blind buy that I bought, and interesting, could have been better. Pacific Rim. The Revenant. Had to get it in 4K. Man, is this movie. Rise of the Planet of the Apes. Again, I Need War. Ray. The Raid 2. And I have one somewhere. Here we go. Ray 1. And I know these are getting out of order, but bear with me. Prometheus, Sausage Party, the theater when that movie came out. Anime fans, Samurai 7. And I just sat and binge watched this one not too long ago. Road Trip. Shawshank Redemption, another one of my top 5 favorite movies. Next up, What's in the Box? The Secret Life of Walter Mitty. Warning, if you have not seen this movie yet, you'll need a passport. Saving Private Ryan. Social Network. Skyfall. The Simpsons movie. Silver Linings Playbook. The Silence of the Lambs. Now, my friend and one of my old roommates says that I can do a good, or at least good enough to make him laugh, impression of Buffalo Bill, but let me know if you actually want to hear that. Stand By Me, classic. Spotlight. Speed. Nostalgia, or Space Jam. South Park, Bigger, Longer, and Uncut. Super 8. Need to watch that one again. Suicide Squad. Now, this one, like everybody else, I've been anticipating that one when I saw the trailer, and when it finally came out, not as good as it should have been, but I like pieces of it. Step Brothers. Star Wars The Force Awakens. Now, I have not gone out and bought the original trilogy yet, and 1 and 3 I might buy, but I never see myself buying 2. That movie is just unwatchable to me. The Tourist. Titanic. A Time to Kill. The Theory of Everything. One of my favorites. I think this was 2014, I want to say. A lot of people didn't want to pay attention to it, but man, I think that was probably like one of my favorite movies, if not the favorite of the year. Superbad. V for Vendetta. Coming to the end here. Unbroken. The Tree of Life. The Town. The Walk. Watchmen. Warrior. War Dogs. Wall Street. The Wiz. Whiplash. Definitely one of my favorites. The Water Boy. Let's see. The Wolf of Wall Street. Who Framed Roger Rabbit. The Wrestler. And last but not least, Zodiac. So when everything is said and done, this is what the shelf looks like. I do have some room for improvement, but this is what progress is for, and I want to share that with all of you. And with that being said, that is the end of this Blu-ray collection video. Thank you for watching. I really hope that you all enjoyed it. And if you do, please feel free to subscribe and join me on this journey that I'm about to embark on. Also, the music that I use, social media, and any other links are going to be in the description down below. And I look forward to seeing all of you soon. Thank you.